What's going on, everybody? Paul here, coming at you with an ICO review. This time we're going to be taking a look at CoinMetro. Just as a disclaimer first, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet. Of course, in my opinion, you should do your own research all the time on everything you're taking a look at. For all you know, I could be a fish on the internet trying to steal your identity.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
That's just an example. I promise I'm not. Anyway, do your own research. So let's go ahead and take a look at CoinMetro. CoinMetro's value proposition is really straightforward. They want to host an initial coin offering to raise the necessary funds needed to build an easy-to-use, seamless crypto exchange. Once the company begins to profit from this venture, they're going to commit to a token buyback, but until then, they're going to offer exchange-based discounts, assumingly similar to how the Binance token functions on the Binance exchange. And we're seeing more of this type of approach. Huobi recently had the same idea, and a couple days ago announced they're going to be launching a Huobi token. So this is moving more and more into the vogue. And this is coming at a very important time in cryptocurrency history, as existing exchanges are starting to buckle under the weight of the first wave of early adopters. Only recently was Binance able to reopen user registration, and when they did, within the first hour, they had 240,000 new applications. So finally, when they were able to scale up, Cryptopia started experiencing major wallet issues. So relief is definitely needed, and CoinMetro seeks to be just that. Now, as you may know by now, I'm a big fan of decentralization. You could probably tell, and CoinMetro is not that at all. In fact, they're actually owned by one Forex company, FXPig, as you can see here. Now, this does not preclude CoinMetro from success in any way, shape, or form, and this may actually offer some hidden benefits as the world largely still functions off of these centralized entities, as clunky as they may be. I'm also not a big believer in allowing my personal bias, or any personal bias for that matter, to prevent the examination of a potentially successful venture. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at CoinMetro and explore some of these potential benefits and maybe even some hidden pitfalls. So you can see here, CoinMetro's token sale is going to be kicking off in 21 days, which is around February 21st. But as you see here, there are periodic sales up until that point known as flash sales. But to get into these, you have to have a password that's available through Telegram. I think this is an ingenious way to grassroot a community while the project is still young and growing. Even if only a small amount of users are retained from this process, it nonetheless forces anyone who's getting into the early ICO to at least have a sense of what they're investing in and what kind of community backs it in general. Overall, the website I think is extremely well done. I love the color scheme, it's really aesthetically pleasing. I also really like these little graphics. You see the little birds floating up and down. It just attests to the attention to detail and the ability to find the right people to get the job done. And frankly, that's a very important thing for this ICO in particular, and we'll explain why in a minute. Let's go ahead and first take a look at the white paper though. One thing I really like about the CoinMetro white paper is they have the option to just simply view it on the website. You can scroll down, read it chunk by chunk, and it applies the same aesthetically pleasing color schematic that I liked about the rest of the website. So kudos to them on that eye for design. We're going to be taking a look at the more traditional black and white paper though. I know it's a little less colorful and nice to look at, but I think it's easier on the eyes and it'll serve the point as you see going forward. Starting off, with any general business venture, you'll see a legal disclaimer. This shields CoinMetro and its parent company FXPig from pretty much any and all negative potential legal implications. It's standard business practice, but if you're seriously eyeing this ICO or any ICO for that matter, in my opinion, it's always important to do your own research and look over in detail where you're putting your hard-earned money. No one can make that decision but you, and in my opinion, a little bit of due diligence can save you a lot of headache in the future. So that's just my 2 cents on the disclaimer. It starts out with the abstract and earnest, talking about how CoinMetro seeks to solve uniquely some of the problems that are present in the exchange community, how being backed by a larger company like FXPig has a lot of benefits, and in general, how they seek to tackle the issues that they put forward and what they want to solve. One thing that really caught my eye, however, in particular is in section 2 of background, section 2.2, problems with the existing ICO environments. They go into how the ICO environment is saturated with get-rich-quick schemes, hype, and lack of regulation, and so it's kind of created a counterproductive environment overall. They say that a lot of the times these projects are led by individuals with very little to no experience in the industries they plan to revolutionize, and many times are led by software developers, engineers, or tech entrepreneurs who don't bring in a lot of unique perspective in a wider sense. They just hire a panel of advisors to navigate through the industries they wish to disrupt. CoinMetro says they take the opposite approach. They want to bring to the table not experience in coding applications. They've hired developers for that reason. Rather, they have experience working with banks, managing liquidity, analyzing markets, building relationships, and running companies. This is a unique approach that we don't see too often here in the crypto space, simply because a lot of these early projects have been driven by individuals with unbridled passion for what they're building. Let's take Komodo as an example. If you'll see that JL777, the head developer, has been tirelessly working behind the scenes anonymously, not for the glory or the money, but because this individual, in my belief, really is convicted that they want to build something great. That's not the kind of thing you can really buy per se. Now, the other side of that coin is an existing FX broker like FXPig has deep enough coffers to keep on skilled developers over the long term. However, that does not make these developers immune to finding unbridled passions in another facet somewhere else, or just having life events that maybe they weigh more heavily than something that isn't their passion, like a job. So two sides to a same coin, relative benefits, relative detriments, but nonetheless, this could put CoinMetro in a unique area in the sense that they do have experience working with banks, working with liquidity, analyzing these markets, and as we've seen, other exchanges like Cryptopia, they have a hard time scaling up simply because they come from an era in cryptocurrencies where there weren't 250,000 applications in an hour. That was unheard of. It was unreasonable. Now it's becoming the daily norm. So with that idea in mind, CoinMetro could potentially be positioned very uniquely in a marketplace that's only going to keep growing from here, in my opinion. Now, being that this is a company owned by a larger Forex broker, FXPig, we wanted to take a look at the company itself. So what we see here, FXPig, in my opinion, I don't have a lot of experience per se with Forex. I've dabbled in it a bit just for fun, but from what I know about it, this looks like a pretty for the people kind of Forex exchange. Only a $500 initial deposit, huge amounts of leverage. That's a really, really high amount of leverage. But all in all, it looks like it's an accessible sort of Forex broker. What really caught my eye, however, is down here at the bottom. There's a plethora of various listings about where the company was founded, where the company is legally protected, and in which jurisdiction the company operates. This is extremely important for a number of reasons. You can see here, FXPig was founded in New Zealand. Now, New Zealand isn't specifically a tax haven in the traditional sense of the word, but they are definitely more tolerant towards certain activities. For instance, Kim.com, the founder of Mega Upload, is still harbored in New Zealand after fleeing extradition from the United States. So they're a bit more tolerant for various kinds of privacy and individual liberties. They're licensed in Vanuatu. This is very interesting, and I'll explain why momentarily, but first let's take a look at where they're protected. They're protected in Hong Kong. Now, Hong Kong is a home to another exchange, Binance. So Hong Kong has favorable regulations, and being that FXPig is moving into the crypto exchange realm using CoinMetro, that's a beneficial place to be positioned for legal protection. Now, why did Vanuatu sound so familiar? Why did that catch my eye? I read an article a while back about how Vanuatu has become the first country to accept Bitcoin for citizenship. That's right, this small island nation in the Pacific actually accepts cryptocurrencies for citizenship. This is a unique development in the crypto world. These small island nations, generally they don't have a lot of population, they don't have a lot of industry, they're very small, they have limited land space, and therefore limited economic potential. So what they do is they generally set their taxes a bit lower to attract outside businesses to be based in that country to at least get some tax revenue, and proportionally it's a good amount of taxes. And with cryptocurrencies being all the rage nowadays, it's no surprise that a small island nation like Vanuatu decided to jump on the bandwagon and try a unique approach that so far seems to have been very successful. Another article talks about how Vanuatu is an up-and-coming crypto tax haven. So this company, in my opinion, has inceptuously positioned itself to potentially take a chunk out of a growing market and could yield some interesting returns in the future, potentially, in my opinion. Down here, you can see the next flash sale. Each coin's going on sale for 11 euro cents. That's a 36% bonus. And right now, there's only 4,384 contributors. You can hop on the Telegram to grab the password for the next flash sale coming up in 2 days. This is all just my opinion. Again, none of it is financial advice, but this has been our look at CoinMetro. Thanks so much for all the support. I'm really appreciating it. Let me know if you like this kind of content or if there's any other ICOs that you want to see reviewed. Like, share, subscribe. Check us out on Discord. We'd love to have your input, and follow us on Twitter. Thanks again. My name is Paul, and we'll talk to you guys next time.